pedestrian safety is becoming an issue in the current Toronto mayoralty campaign. Now, this issue really resonates with me because before I was born, there was a sister in my family who was killed in front of the house by a truck. Now, I obviously didn't know her because she died before I was born, but I saw the devastation it caused in our family for decades afterwards. And I've often wondered, what about that poor truck driver? He's just driving down the street, minding his own business, and this 5-year-old girl runs out in front of him, whack, and he kills her. He had to live with that for his entire life. Now, one of the candidates in this election is suggesting reducing the speed limit in metro residential areas. Sometimes it's 50, sometimes it's already 40. They're looking at going down as far as 30K. Well, 30K will still kill you, and you can't be twice as dead. But this idea flies in the face of about 100 years of traffic research, which indicates that traffic flows at the speed at which the road was designed to be driven on. You can't just paint a number on a sign and nail it to a light post and expect people to change the way they drive. And we don't have anywhere near enough radar cops to try and enforce this on every street in the city. What does work is changing the traffic environment. One suggestion that's come up in this campaign is islands in the middle of wide streets so people can sort of park themselves for a bit before they sprint across the rest of the intersection. Also, if they make right turns tighter, sharper angle, people have to slow down to negotiate that corner. This is actually reinforced by research conducted recently in northern cities. You know how the snow always piles up on the street corners because that's where the snow plows leave it? Turns out traffic actually goes slower around those corners, and the results are measurable. Now, we told you some years ago about a Dutch urban planner who went even further. He took away all traffic controls. No lane markings, no crosswalks, no stop signs, no speed limits, nothing. Pavement, people, cars, bikes, trucks, and motorcycles. And guess what? They figured it out. Casualties actually went down with no control whatsoever. Why? Because people took responsibility for their own safety. Your mom and dad always told you, don't cross against the red light. Well, don't cross the street in the middle of traffic either. Use your head. Now, the large number of the 70-odd people that die in pedestrian traffic in Toronto are seniors. I'm not entirely sure how we handle that, but we have to handle it somehow. Another large component are people who are impaired. Yeah, impaired walking is no safer than impaired driving. And of course, nowadays, you see so many people walking down the street typing away on their cell phones or listening to music on their headphones, so they can't hear traffic coming. I know of at least one fatality which was caused specifically by that issue. So I believe it's incumbent on all our politicians at all levels, federal, provincial, and municipal, to understand what really works in traffic safety, not go off on some fairy idea. How do they find out what works? Well, that's the easiest part of the job. They just have to watch motoring. I'm Jim Kenzie.